point on that one skill. So, you know, I do agree with you. I think it was still a little bit too high, but really vaulting is going to be your highest scoring event.
All right, now, Elena Zamolodchikova. It's hard to believe if you followed the sport of gymnastics that she's still at it. She might not have that many options in Russia, but we have seen her in absolute tears when she failed her teammates, and we have seen her absolute redemption with 2 gold medals in the Olympic Games.
Yeah, she truly is one of the great champions.
Good.
There's no question, but that right there, it somewhat sums up the way she's looked the whole time here in Philadelphia. Is just, you know,
she just fell on that shortly before in the 30-second touch. She hasn't done full bar sets. We've watched all the other young athletes who are just cranking out routine after routine, trying to gain the consistency. And she's just here.
Yeah, I feel for her, honestly, because she's a great champion. She won 2 gold medals in an Olympic Games, and she knows it. Her coach knows it. Her federation knows it. She's not the athlete that she once was. She just did a skill where she gets another 0.5 of a point off because of those angles. It's really a shame, though, like you said, Al, is she probably has no other option, and gymnastics is the best way for her to make a living, to survive. And I'd like to think it was a little bit better for her.
She's hanging in there.
And unfortunately, she will get no, there's her coach right there. She will get no sympathy whatsoever.
You know, she's 24 years of age, but when you look into her eyes, it just looks as though they've seen so much more, and they're going to have a little backstage get-together.
Alex, most of these athletes, it's the first time competing this year. He has been out 9 times this year so far.
Hey, Elfie, you're the greatest gymnast Canada's ever produced.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
She's challenging you. Aisha Gerber in the Tyson American Cup, the leader after the first of 4 rotations.
And not a surprise that she's the leader after the first rotation. She is amazing on vault. Actually was one of the few that scored in that 15 range. So a very strong vaulter. This event was not kind to her the other day. Has had trouble with her release skills. It's one of her toughest events, she says. Now, interestingly, Aisha decided to come to the American Cup. She felt that this was a much stronger event for her to gain some valuable international experience. She has declined going to the Commonwealth Games later on this month. This was the skill.
She needs a 14.9 to move ahead of Liukin, which is possible. She has the ability to do that, but needs to perform much better than she did in day 1. Much better. And right there, huge mistakes. She lost 0.5 of a point, once again, for not getting close enough to vertical or that handstand, and probably lost a little bit of concentration. Couldn't get her feet underneath her quick enough.
Hit her skill today. That was the one that she had fallen on the other day. But lots of problems on the low bar. Extra swing.
She only needs a 14.9 to hold on to the top spot, but remember, Nastia Liukin still to come, and some of the other American women challenging here today.
Yeah, I mean, that young lady right there, she's got 2 events left, and one of them she's the best in the world on, and the other one she's only a silver medalist on, so you certainly can't count her out.
So we'll update the scores and tabulate the standings back in Philadelphia for the 2006 Tyson American Cup here on NBC Sports after this. Nastia Liukin moving on to the balance beam. Live gymnastics, a truly rare experience, sort of rare like winning the Tyson American Cup. Nastia Liukin has shaken up the standings with her performance, and not as much as she has grabbed the lead, Tim and Elfie, as much as the field is coming back to her a little bit. And there you see, after 2 rotations, the women at halftime, Nastia Liukin and Shayla Worley from Orlando, Florida in second place. Aisha Gerber was hit hard by the judges, 13.85 on her last performance. And Zhou Zhuuru, as this field is being separated a little bit by Liukin's steadiness and consistency. Now on the, so we'll get Mizutori's score in a moment as we take you about 100 feet over to the balance beam. One of the biggest things to me, Elfie, she's 16 now. 16 and 18 and change. When I talk about Beijing and Nastia Liukin, that's a big change for a woman.
Yeah, it is a big change. You know, this girl, however, on this event,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You know, Tim, I have to point out, she said that if she has a great warm-up, she feels confident. That's what gets her through the routine, is a great warm-up. She had a fall. She wasn't quite feeling that confidence.
And this is important here. She fell on this once in warm-ups. Somehow holds on. A fall used to be 0.5 of a point. With the new rules, she loses not 5, but add 3 on, 0.8 off.
Yeah, that's severe. I was about to say that Nastia is typically one of those athletes who performs on beam. You kind of just sit back, relax, enjoy. She has the beauty, the grace, the lines, everything the judges are looking for, the elements. I mean, that part of it hasn't changed in the new code.
I bet if you had taken 10 elements from her balance beam routine and asked her which ones are you most concerned about, the one she would have been least concerned about
is the mount.
Would have been the mount. This mount is a triple twist. What the judges will be looking for is, does her body get around 3 complete times?
They'll watch the feet.
And it was
a little bit at the end?
A little bit.
Boy, it really stinks when you have to gather yourself after just, what was it, a second?
Yeah.
In the first second of the routine, the major mistake. She's not dealing from the normal strength. Well, like all the gymnasts here, I guess, Tim and Elfie, they're changing their routines to match the code.
No more energy in a competition than we do in a workout.
And really uncharacteristic.
2 hours.
As we said, she is world champion on this event, and deservedly so.
And like Tim said, this is so simple.
It's just a little bit over, and those feet touch the ground. 0.8 off. Not simple for most people, but this is simple for Nastia. Certainly opens the door for Shayla, the other American. I believe she has enough of a lead that it really won't.
The big celebrity right now, Chelsea Memel, who's the 2005 World All-Around Champion. Congratulations on that. That just happened in November. What's been going on with you since then?
I've been, you know, taking a little downtime. I had a cleanup surgery on my foot, but now I'm back training again.
Does it seem different to you to have that title? Do you feel like a different competitor now?
I don't necessarily feel different. I think it gives me more confidence and everything, but it's still just really cool to look back and say, wow, you know, I'm world champion.
You have had a chance now to watch this new scoring system this afternoon. What do you think so far? Do you understand it?
Getting better. You know, it's still a little weird not to see a 10 and see scores over like 15 and everything, but, you know.
How much do you think this new scoring system will help someone like you? Because you're really a big trick gymnast, and it seems like it favors people like you.
Yeah, it does. I didn't really have to change my routines too much, you know, to get still the high level of difficulty, but, you know, we'll see after I compete.
A lot of the young women that you competed with in 2003, 2004 have either retired or moved on to college. Why are you sticking around? What is it? What's back there in your mind? I think I know what it is, and I think everyone else does too. Beijing?
Yeah, that's definitely in the back of my mind, but the main reason I just love competing, you know, I love competing internationally for the U.S.
Okay, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Al.
Okay, Andrea, Chelsea Memel was the world champion over Nastia Liukin in the closest gold-silver finish since it was a tie. That's how close that was. 14.925. What does this all mean?
Well, the execution, remember, it starts out of a 10, so she had over a point, nearly a 1.5 in deductions for that exercise.
So, a door opens wide here. An opportunity for someone, perhaps, maybe even her teammate, to take on the 2006 Visa American Cup and win. We'll see. Boy, they'd want to get give a gold medal to a dad who could survive coaching his teenage daughter. Oh, he already has a gold medal. I forgot about that. That's Valery Lyukin with his daughter, as they and the other gymnasts work on improving their gymnastics to reach these new high levels that are opened up to their abilities, with scores of 15 and 16 and no more 10s. And she hasn't liked the way things have gone today. You can see that easily on her face. But in a few moments, her American teammate today, Shayla Worley of Orlando, Florida, and the United